Hello, students, and welcome to week 12. All right, so last week we studied critical thinking, and this week we're going to put our critical thinking skills to the test. I adjusted my volume there, maybe it was a little low. So first thing this week, I want you to go ahead and get your critical thinking reflection completed. Get that finished by either tonight, Monday, or tomorrow night at the latest Tuesday, okay? It's very important that you complete this reflection before moving on to this week's activities, okay? So we're going to be doing two things this week. We're going to be reading chapter 15 in the text, which is focused on diversity, okay? And take the quiz over that chapter by Wednesday, all right? Then what we're going to do is we're going to apply critical thinking by comparing some different viewpoints and perceptions of diversity, okay? So what I've got for this week's activity is in this Diversity is a Lie discussion forum. I've given you some materials that will take a decidedly different viewpoint of the topic of diversity than what you will read in your textbook chapter. I've given you links to two blogs. One, Diversity is a Fraud, and it's got a video there that you can watch and also read the blog. And then another blog, Diversity is a Lie, and read this blog too. Then answer or create your thread and list 5 proclamations made in either the blogs or that video that are negative towards the idea of diversity. All right, and I've given you an example there. And that's all you need to do. Read those things, watch them, and post 5 things that either those blogs or that video say, okay? And that is going to provide some counterpoint to what we read in our chapter. So you might think of it as kind of the chapter. Well, I don't know. What's important is that we approach what we read, because what you'll read in the blogs and the video can be pretty inflammatory. We've got a diverse student population in this course, and I want to remind everybody of that, okay? So read those blogs and then just list 5 proclamations from those blogs, and that's all you have to do for week 12. Then you'll read the chapter and take a quiz. And then what I want you to do is I want you to, first of all, remember everything we read and studied last week, okay? That's very, very important. We're approaching these comparisons. We're comparing the blog's viewpoints and the chapter's viewpoints objectively and intellectually and academically, not emotionally, right? So you'll read chapter 15, and then you'll choose one of the proclamations that you listed in the previous discussion board. Create a thread and retype that proclamation. And then I want you to compare that proclamation to what you read in the text. And I've given you a guide, all right? You don't have to follow this guide. If you're confident that you can objectively compare the 2 viewpoints, then you don't need to use this guide. However, if you feel yourself becoming emotionally involved in this, then that's a red flag, right? And you need to step back and remove your emotions. And so maybe you can use these suggestions here as a guide to help you to compare, because they are very, very different viewpoints. I actually considered not doing this assignment this semester based on the escalation in negativity, surrounding politics. And diversity is a very political, buzzword. It's one of those words that gets thrown around by all the political, parties, and all parties use it, for different reasons, but they use it politically. And I'm hoping through this exercise we can broaden our perceptions of what diversity is and what it means to to more people than maybe we understood before we did this week's activity. But I just want to stress that it's very important that we remain academic and objective in doing this activity. And I do want to remind everybody in this class that we have a pretty wide range of ethnic diversities and socioeconomic diversities. Diversity is a big term, so I think you'll learn a lot from the chapter. But remember that others in the class may not share your personal viewpoints on diversity, and so it's important that we stay academic with this and not become emotionally involved. It is a critical thinking activity, and remember that as you work your way through it. And I'll be watching the discussion boards closely this week, and I look forward to some engaging, well, no, I don't look forward to anything engaging. I look forward to you demonstrating your critical thinking skills as you complete this assignment. I think that will be engagement enough. You are personally engaging in two very, very different viewpoints, if you will, world views, if you will, and it will be enough for you to engage in those objectively and as an academic and as a critical thinker and as a outside observer, if you will. So best of luck with this. Dive into it deep. Don't be afraid to look at very uncomfortable things, all right? That's part of being a critical thinker, not being fearful of looking and examining something that makes you uncomfortable, okay? So I do want everyone to be courageous and take deep dives into where this might lead you. But when you're typing your discussion boards, we are going to leave our personal opinions out of it, and we are only going to be comparing the two different viewpoints and perceptions of diversity. So by the end of the week, I think everyone will have a much broadened perception of what diversity actually is, the role it plays in the lives of everybody. Well, at least more than perhaps we were aware of before this week. All right? So enjoy. I will be available if you need me. And thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.